Hello, and welcome to my YouTube channel. If you are someone that is looking to buy the Fitbit Charge 6, but wanted to know what the battery life was like first, then you have come to the right place. In this video, I will show you how I test and rate a device for battery life. The testing criteria that I follow will also give you an idea on how the Fitbit Charge 6 performs, and you can decide if the device is right for you. If you are new to my videos, I like to keep it short and to the point so that you can get the answers you want right away. With that said, let me show you the final summary of my test results. And here it is. There are two different tests that I do, which is battery economy and GPS battery consumption. As you can see, the Charge 6 does very well in the battery economy test, but performed very badly in the GPS battery consumption test. To be honest, I think Fitbit should never offer GPS tracking for the Charge 6, because accuracy is not very good. If GPS battery consumption matters to you, unfortunately the Charge 6 is not the device for you. But, I will show you how I arrived to these final conclusions in this video. Overall, I think the Fitbit Charge 6 deserves its final rating of 5 out of 10 for battery life. Because the device offers GPS, I will only account for the GPS battery test score as its final score, and my testing system has exposed a flaw, especially for those that do a lot of GPS tracking activities. Anyway, let's now take a quick look at the key discussion points of the video. Now, I will keep my discussions 1 and 2 very short and easy to understand, because I like to discuss the bulk of this video from discussion points 3 onwards. If you are new to my videos, please do watch discussion points 1 and 2, as you get an idea of what I do when it comes to testing and rating a device for battery life. I will provide timestamps in the description for those that would like to skip to the parts that matter to you. Anyway, let's move on to the first discussion point. So, here is the test schedule that I always follow every time I test a device. I like to do it this way because I can provide a fair comparison against any device that I test. If we look at the first test I do for battery economy, I always begin the test with 100% battery life, and end the test once there is 10% remaining. Then I repeat the process 5 times to ensure that the battery economy is consistent. As for the second test, I will only conduct this test if the device has GPS built in. GPS battery consumption is a test I like to show independently, just for those that do a lot of GPS tracking activities. GPS tracking is a massive battery burner, and I do 5 one-hour sessions to see if the battery consumption is consistent. I also do continuous GPS tracking to measure its true battery performance, however the Charge 6 did very poorly in this test. I got about 3 continuous hours and the device nearly died, but I will talk more about this later in the video. So, this is how I test smartwatches for battery life. Now let's take a look at how I rate a smartwatch. I have 2 rating systems to show you, and I will begin with the battery economy rating system first. This system was built testing many smartwatches over the years and then categorized them into a 5-star system that you see. You can say that this rating system is based on what's out there in the market. I don't like giving ratings based on my opinion, because that would not be fair on you guys, because my job is to provide an unbiased answer. And this is my way of showing that. Now if we take a look at the GPS battery consumption table. I have also used the same methodology creating this rating system as well. GPS tracking is very competitive in the market, and the rating system you see reflects that. Generally devices rate between a 3-star and higher, but mostly at the 5-star rating. So, that's how I rate a device once I have conducted the battery life tests. Let's now take a look at the battery economy results. So, here is the full battery economy test results. The Charge 6 just stays within a 4-star rating at 10% per day, which is a very strong rating. The big battery burners in this test is continuous heart rate tracking and sleep tracking, however the device has performed consistently. I would get around 9 days of battery life, which isn't too bad. Based on these test results alone, the Charge 6 performs better than its predecessor. So let's take a look. So, I have created a little comparison table for you to see. The Charge 6 has improved battery economy of about 33%, which means that you can get an extra 3 days battery life based on my testing usage. This very impressive, and it's almost up there with the Fitbit Inspire 3. However, the Charge 6 has more battery burning features built in. I still think that the Charge 5 battery performance is still very good at 6 days. Anyway, let's see where the Charge 6 ranks in the market based on battery economy. Please note that this ranking table are devices that I physically own and tested. As you can see, the Charge 6 is one of the top devices that I have tested. A 5-star device that I have tested is the Garmin Forerunner 55, at a staggering 4% per day, which means it's 2 times more efficient than the Charge 6. This is a solid indication of how the Charge 6 compares against a 5-star device that I have tested. Anyway, hopefully these test results make sense. Now let's take a look at the GPS battery consumption test results. I hate to say it, but the results speak for themselves. That's my job as a tester, to present the results as it is. If you are someone that does a lot of GPS tracking activities, unfortunately the Charge 6 is not the device for you. I used the built-in GPS feature in this test, and that's how much battery life you can burn per hour, which is insane. These latest test results matches the test results I did for the Charge 5, so in conclusion not much has changed. To be honest, Fitbit should not offer GPS tracking, and instead allow the device to use your phone's GPS signal. Anyway, let's see where the Fitbit Charge 6 is ranked in the market for GPS battery consumption. Please note that the ranking table is based on the devices that I physically own and tested. And, the Charge 6 and Charge 5 are on the bottom of the table. If you are looking for an alternative, devices that are ranked all the way from 1 down to 8 are great alternatives, because I have rated all of those devices 5 stars. If you are wanting to stay within the Fitbit range, I would not recommend the Versa 4. Although its GPS battery consumption is impressive, its GPS accuracy is way off. Anyway, I hope that makes sense. Now let's wrap it all up in the final conclusion. So, here are the final results in the end, and based on my testing criteria you can get around 3 to 9 days battery life. That's quite a massive difference, which tells you that the device obviously does very poorly in one aspect in terms of battery life performance. At 20% per hour when doing any GPS tracking is the real issue here. From a user experience perspective, the battery economy is fantastic. You can check and reply to messages, answer phone calls. The Charge 6 does very well in that regard. I would keep screen activation to a minimum because I think that feature can burn battery life quite easily. One of the other big battery burners is the all-day heart rate tracking and sleep tracking, which is very good news for those that chose to go premium because the bulk of Fitbit's premium features rely on the tracking data from those features. If you were someone that wanted to use the Charge 6 to track GPS activities, unfortunately the device won't be ideal for you. To be honest, GPS tracking should not be offered and just take it off completely. To take full advantage of the device, best to turn off GPS. Based on the battery economy results you can get up to 9 days battery life, which is very good. Thank you so much for watching. For more information you can go to my website. Please like, share and subscribe for more future videos. Thank you.